हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाये नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तो पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरं भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय। 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 नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम। हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। We shall read from the first mantra of the fifth section. अथ हैनं शेभ्यः सत्यकामः पप्रच्छ स यो ह वै तद्भगवन्मनुष्येषु प्रायणान्तम् ओंकारम् अभिध्यायेत कथमं भावस्य तेन लोकं जयतीति। तस्मै स होवाच एतद्वै सत्यकाम परं चापरं च ब्रह्म यदोङ्कारः तस्माद् विद्वान् एतेन एव आयतनेन एकतरम् अन्वेति. स यदि एकमात्रम् अभिध्यायेत स तेन एव संवेदितस्तूर्णम् एव जगत्याम् अभिसम्पद्यते. ऋचो मनुष्यलोकम् उपनयन्ते स तत्र तपसा ब्रह्मचर्येण श्रद्धया सम्पन्नो महिमानम् अनुभवति. स पुनः एतं त्रिमात्रेण ओम इति एतेन एव अक्षरेण परं पुरुषम् अभिध्यायेत. स तेजसी सूर्ये सम्पन्नः यथा पादोदरस्त्वचा विनिर्मुच्यते एवं ह वै स पाप्मना विनिर्मुक्तः स सामभिर्उन्नीयते ब्रह्मलोकम्. स एतस्मात् जीवगणात् परात् परं पुरुषम् ईक्षते. तद् एतौ श्लोकौ भवतः. So the fifth disciple, Shaibya Satyakama, approached the Guru, Pippalada Rishi, and asked this question about Omkar upasana. So teacher said Omkar is that alambana with the help of which one can attain both Apara Brahma as well as Param Brahma. So we have to do this upasana with proper understanding. Upasana is a combination of karma and knowledge, action and knowledge. That is upasana. With proper knowledge, we have to focus our attention on the object of our upasana properly. So Omkara upasana is one of the subtlest upasana because Omkar is the subtlest symbol of that Supreme Brahma. So Om has got these three matras, A, O, Ma, and without any matra is the Om. So when a person has got knowledge of only a mantra, means when a person has got knowledge of only Vaishvanara, and with that Vaishvanara knowledge, meditates on Vaishvanara with the help of Om, such a upasak after death is born again as a human being with good qualities like Shraddha, Brahmacharya, Tapas, and continues his sadhana from wherever he has left. Then those who do the upasana of Om, having the knowledge of A and U, means Vaishvanara as well as Hiranyagarbha. Such a upasak, after doing this sadhana throughout his life, after death, goes to higher worlds like Swargalok. All of them are indicated as Somaloka. And then living there for some time is born again as a human being with good qualities, and then he continues with his sadhana. And the upasak who has knowledge of Uma, all the three letters of Om. Is Vaishvanara, O is Hiranyagarbha, Ma is Ishvara. The sthana, place of Vaishvanara is the waking state. The place of Hiranyagarbha is dream. The place of Ishvara is deep sleep. When we are in deep sleep, we are one with Ishvara. When we are in dream, we are one with Hiranyagarbha. When we are awake, we are one with Vaishvanara. Though we may not know. So with proper understanding, when we meditate on Vaishvanara, we progress on our spiritual path. Thereafter, we can meditate on Hiranyagarbha, and then we meditate on Ishvara, and then recognize ourselves as the Supreme Brahman. So it is not very difficult to know where Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara is residing. They can be sought within our own heart. When you transcend the limitation of your physical body and you identify with the entire cosmos, with all beings, with their physical bodies, and when you meditate on yourself as the Atma of all this entire world, then you identify with Vaishvanara. While being in the waking state, when we withdraw the attention of our indriyas from the world outside and withdraw our attention from our own physical body and understand the mind, the very support of that mind, our own inner self, who is the support of our own mind, that inner self is not only the self of my mind, but is the self of all the minds. That inner self is Hiranyagarbha. So we can, if we dive deep, we can identify with Hiranyagarbha within ourselves. And when we transcend our mind, when we shift our attention from our mind, means from mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar also, then we identify with Ishvara within. So to wakefully identify with Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha, then Ishvara is our sadhana. See, in the waking we are awake, and when we dream, we become unaware of the world outside. But we should, in our sadhana, we should dive inside while awake. We should transcend the world outside and transcend our own body. So wakefully we have to go into the dream world. Like some people do daydreaming and all. So wakefully enter your dream world and identify with Hiranyagarbha. And wakefully enter your deep sleep and identify with Ishvara. the deep sleep self, who is Kshetrajna, who is Pratyagatma, is really Ishvara. Kshetrajnam chapimam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Bhagavan says, I am Kshetrajna in all the bodies. So we can do this upasana with taking the support of Om. So, by chanting Om, focusing our attention on Om, knowing that this Om represents both Param Brahman and Aparam Brahman also. Om represents Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, and Param, that Brahma. So with this understanding, one has to do the Omkar upasana. So what happens when we do this Omkar upasana with the understanding of all the three matras, A, U and Ma, and focusing on the Ma matra, means focusing on Ishvara. That is being said in the fifth mantra. The teacher says, Ya punaha etam trimatrena Om iti etena eva aksharena param purusham abhidhyayita sa tejasi surye sampannaha. Ya punaha etam omkaram, the one who meditates on this omkar, trimatrena means trimatra vishaya vijnana vishishtena, means with the knowledge of all the three matras. One who meditates on this Om with the knowledge of all the three matras, means with the help of Om, we have to meditate on Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, just like we have our national flag. We look at the flag and salute the flag with the intention and attention on saluting our own nation. In the same way, when one meditates on Om, it is not that we meditate on the sound, but that which is indicated by the sound. So with that knowledge, when we do this sadhana, then we identify with that which is represented by this sound. So Om iti ekena eva aksharena param suryantargatam purusham pratikena abhidhyayita. So that Hiranyagarbha, who is represented by the Surya, the sun, is also the pratik of that Hiranyagarbha. So when we meditate, tena abhidhyanena pratikattvena hi alambanatvam prakritam omkarasya paramcha brahma iti abhed shrutehe omkaramiti cha dvitiyanekashah shruta. सतृतीय मात्रा रूपस्य तेजसी सूर्ये संपन्नः भवति. So when we meditate, we identify with that Surya. Satya matra rupasya, who is representing the three matras, that Surya. One identifies with the Surya, the Hiranyagarbha, Rupa Surya, And mruto api surya somalokadivat. And after the body gets dropped, one reaches the Surya Lok, means one reaches that Brahmalok, and one doesn't return from there. So we go to Brahmalok, and with the blessings of Hiranyagarbha, we gain liberation. Surye sampanna matra eva. Surya somodokadivat na punaravartate. One doesn't return from that Surya Lok, from that Brahmalok. Means through this Omkar upasana with the knowledge of all the Uma Matra, means taking the whole Om and meditating on it, we reach Brahmalok through this meditation. Because through this meditation, what happens? We become free of all our papa. When we transcend our body and transcend our mind, we become free of all the papa. All the papa are there in the mind only. See, for example, if you have some headache or some pain in the body, then you fall asleep. When you fall asleep, you transcend the body. So when you transcend the body, you transcend the pain also. Pain is also left behind. When you wake up and identify with the body again you might feel the pain. Similarly, all the papa, punya are there in the antakaran only. And through our sadhana of this Om, we transcend our mind and reach that Brahmalok, free of all our papa and punya. Here, the teacher gives an example. He says, कि यथा पादोदरः सर्पः त्वचा विनिर्मुच्यते जीर्णत्वक् विनिर्मुक्तः स पुनर्नवो भवति. Like the snake, if you have observed a snake, it wriggles out of its skin. It leaves its skin behind. I don't know what it is called in English. So the snake, as though just slides out of its own skin. The skin is left behind on the ground. Sometimes you just look at that skin and you think it is a snake, but if you observe closely, it is just the outer skin. The snake moves ahead, fresh, with its old skin discarded outside. Very beautiful example. Similarly, all our papa, punya are like the skin on our personality, which we carry everywhere. Even when it becomes old, we carry. But when we do this upasana, we just glide out of the skin, leaving it behind. Yatha padodarah sarpastvacha vinirmuchyate jirnatvat vinirmuktah sapunar navo bhavati. Just as the snake, when it comes out of its skin, it becomes fresh, it becomes new. It gets rejuvenated. Similarly, evam hava esha yatha drishtantah sapatmana sarpatvat staniyena ashuddhi rupena vinirmuktah. So similarly, through this sadhana, one becomes free of all this papa and gets rejuvenated, becomes fresh, becomes new, becomes pure. And then what happens? Tritiya matra rupaihi Urdhvam unniyate brahmalokam. Then when this body gets dropped, we are taken to Brahmalok. We go to Brahmalok. And what is this Brahmalok? Brahmalokam. Hiranyagarbhasya Brahmanaha Lokam. The world of Hiranyagarbha. Where Hiranyagarbha takes rest. He lives there. Hiranyagarbha may work in our mind, but he takes rest he lives in Brahmalok. See, just as when we are dreaming, our mind is active, and we are living in the world of the mind. But when the mind also is transcended, then we remain with Ishvara within, in that deep sleep, experiencing supreme joy, we remain. So dream and all is like the various worlds, like Swargalok, Narakalok, and so many lokas are there. All these lokas are like dream. Our earth is like waking. The other worlds are like dream. See, if suppose you are dreaming something, you are having a party in your dream, a lavish party, dance, music, food, but you have not invited me and you are sleeping. So, can I enter your dream? Can I participate in your dream? Can I become one with your and enjoy the party in your dream? I cannot. Because though your body is lying here, your dream world is somewhere different. I cannot reach there with this physical body. But it is there. Similarly, this Swargalok, I cannot reach there with my physical body. But when I die, with my Sukshma Sharir, I can go there and experience the joys of that Swargalok. So all this Swargalok and other lokas are like dream. That doesn't mean they are non-existent, but they are as subtle as our dream. And Brahmalok is as peaceful and as beautiful and as blissful as our deep sleep. So Brahmalokam Hiranyagarbhasya Brahmano Lokam Satyakhyam. So it is also called Satyalok. Satyalok, Brahmalok. So Hiranyagarbhasya Sarvesham Samsarinam Jivananatma Bhutah. This Hiranyagarbha is the Atma of all the beings. Jivanam Atma Bhutah. Hiranyagarbha is the Atma of all the beings. All the mind and all the intellect of all the beings, within that resides Hiranyagarbha. So Sahi Antaratma Linga Rupena Sarva Bhutana. So that Sukshma Sharir is also called Linga Deha. So that Linga Deha, within that Linga Deha is that Hiranyagarbha. Therefore Hiranyagarbha is also called the Atma of all the Jivas. Tasmin hi lingatmani samhata sarve jivaha tasmat sa jiva ganaha. Therefore Hiranyagarbha is also called Jiva Ganaha, the very source of all the jivas, Jiva Ganaha. So through Omkar Upasana, we identify with Hiranyagarbha, we reach his Brahmaloka. And if one does this, one gains knowledge of that Om here itself, while living, when we gain the proper understanding, knowledge of Om as guided in Mandukya Upanishad, then we transcend even Brahmaloka while living on earth. We can transcend Brahmaloka also. That is what is said. Sa Vidwan Trimatra Omkara Vidnyaha, one who is the knower of this Omkar or the three matras and knows the real meaning of that Om as Brahma, Om iti etat Brahma, Om as the Turiya Atma. When one knows this, then what happens? Etasmat Jiva Ganat Hiranyagarbhat Parat Param. He transcends that Hiranyagarbha also, who is called Jiva Ghana. And attains that Supreme Brahma, Parat Param, Paramakhyam, who is indicated as Param, Paramakhyam, Purusham, who is also called Purusha. Why? Ikshate Purishayam, because he resides in everyone's heart. That Supreme Brahma resides in everyone's heart. Therefore, he is also called Purishayam. He is as though sleeping in everyone's heart. So, Sarva Sharirano Pravishtam Pashyati Dhyayamanaha. So, person meditating on this Om, with this understanding of Om, he comes to realize that Supreme Brahma. Dhyayamanaha. Through this meditation, come to realize that Supreme Brahma also. So tadetat asmin yatha uktartha prakashakau mantra bhavataha. The following two mantras summarizes what was said in this chapter. These two mantras are quoted from other portion of the Vedas. So through Omkar Upasana, one reaches or identifies with Vaishvanara. One can meditate on the O and O Matra and go to other lokas and come back. One meditates on O Ma Matra with proper understanding, then one can reach Brahmaloka. Or if one gains proper knowledge of that Om, then here itself one transcends even that Brahmaloka and attains that Param Brahma, identification with the Param Brahma, attains moksha. So, these following two mantras are quoted to emphasize what is said already. So let us chant mantra number 6. Tisro matra mrityumatyah prayukta anyonya sakta ana viprayuktaha kriyasu bhayabhantaram madhyamasu samyak prayuktasu na kampatet nyaha. Tisro matra mrityumatyah. This Om, which has got three matras, and Om itself free from all matras, also called amatra. So Om, three matra, and amatra Om. So these three matras, Om, are mrityumatyah, are, are, are endowed with mortality. Means they can constantly change. Like this world and this physical world, which is amatra, Vaishvanara, constantly changing. Constant change is the very nature of this world. So that change is called mrityu. Mrityu is just change because mrityu doesn't mean non-existence. Mrityu means change. So every object of this world undergoes this sixfold change. Asti, jayate, vartate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, vinashyati. It exists, it is born, it grows, it changes, it decays, dies, and again is born. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. One who is born certainly dies, and one who dies certainly is born again. So these three matras, matra, Hiranyagarbha, the world of Hiranyagarbha, means all these various lokas, Swargalok, etc., are also endowed with death. They come to an end. Even Brahmalok, if one doesn't gain knowledge or doesn't attain that Brahmalok without proper knowledge, may return back to this world. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartana Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, all this world, starting from Brahmalok and all this world are punaravarti. Means even if you attain them, you can return. Generally, if we attain Brahmalok, we gain guidance from Brahmaji himself and we gain moksha. But if our punya and our upasana is not up to mark, we might return again to this world. So, tisro matra mrityu matyaha. All these three matras, o, ma, are mrityu matyaha, are endowed with death. But if we understand these three matras and Omkar properly and utilize this Om properly in our upasana, then we can transcend all this mrityu and attain that moksha. So prayukta, if one utilizes this Om in upasana, Anyonya Saktaha, understanding their relationship and uniting them properly. This matra is connected to U is connected to Ma. Just like when we chant Om, becomes one with U becomes one with Ma, and all Ma together becomes that Om. So if we connect them properly, if we understand their interrelationship, Vaishvanara, the Atma of Vaishvanara is Hiranyagarbha. So Vaishvanara goes to sleep, merges into Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha merges into Ishvara, and Ishvara is that Param Brahman. So, understanding their interrelationship and connecting them properly, and anaviprayuktaha, and engaging with Omkar in upasana properly. Properly engaging in the upasana. अनविप्रयुक्ता विशेषेण एकैक विषय एव प्रयुक्ता विप्रयुक्ता न तथा विप्रयुक्ता अविप्रयुक्ता न विप्रयुक्ता अनविप्रयुक्ताः. Engaging all this Om in one direction, uniting Om properly in one unit and focusing our attention on the Supreme Brahma. Kriyasu Bahya Abhyantara Madhyamasu. Engaging this Omkar in the Upasana Kriya, in the outward Bahya means on Vaishwanara. Even when we are focusing our attention on Vaishwanara, if we understand the heart of Vaishwanara, the Atma of Vaishwanara is Hiranyagarbha, the Atma of Hiranyagarbha is Ishvara, the Atma of Ishvara is that Param Brahman. So by here, meditating on Vaishwanara, Abhyantara, inside, meditating on Hiranyagarbha, on the Ishvara, and Madhyamasu, Madhyam, in between, meditating on Hiranyagarbha. Samyak Prayuktasi, properly, when we engage this Omkar in the Upasana, then what happens? Na kampate nyaha, the knower of this Omkar, and knower of this Upasana, and the doer of this Upasana, na kampate, doesn't waver, doesn't get disturbed, doesn't get agitated, gains that abidance in whatever level he meditates upon. If he meditates on Vaishwanara, he gains abidance in Vaishwanara. If he meditates on Hiranyagarbha, he gains abidance in Hiranyagarbha. If he meditates on Ishvara, he gains abidance in Ishvara. Na kampate, he doesn't waver, doesn't get disturbed. Then, further, the teacher says, Rigbhihi etam yajubhihi antariksham samabhihi yattat kavayo vedayante tam omkarena eva ayatanena anveti vidvan yattat chantam ajaram amrutam abhayam param cheti. Again, what was indicated before is summarized in this mantra. Rigbhihi etam yajubhihi antariksham samabhihi yattat kavayo vedayante. That when we meditate on that akara, then the Rigveda mantra devatas take us to this world again. After that, they bring us back to this world. See, when we die, we don't go very far. We are in this world only, in this cosmos. Just like when a person is dreaming, He is there in this world only. In this world means in a subtler world, which we cannot touch, but he is present. He is connected. Let us say a person is sleeping and dreaming and having a jolly good time in his dream, smiling outwardly. When you look at his body, we see him smiling also. Otherwise, hardly he smiles at home, always having a grumpy face. But now he's sleeping and smiling away. Sometimes the wife is also worried why this fellow is smiling so much in his dream. Is he meeting someone there? So she gets disturbed and she shakes him up and wakes him up. And poor fellow wakes up and is shocked to see his wife, and the whole dream world just disappears. So, though the wife could not enter his dream world, but his dream world was connected to his body. So, by shaking his body, she could bring him back into this world. In the same way, when we die, we go to the other world, but that world is connected to this world in a very strange way, in a subtle way. Through Shraddha Karma and all, we can connect to that person who is dead. And through proper upasana, we can invoke his presence also. On Shraddha and all, one invokes the forefathers and offer the whatever swadha to them. So the other lokas are not somewhere else, they are here only. So when we die, that other world is represented by the moon, and Brahmaloka is represented by the sun, and this world is represented by the earth. So only three worlds are there: the earth, the moon, and the sun. When you do akara upasana, you come back to earth. When you do and upasana, you go to the moon. And when you do upasana, you go to the sun. And when you have the knowledge of properly, you transcend all this world and attain moksha. So who brings us back to this world? Rig Veda Mantra Devata. So Rig Bihi Etam. Sometimes we don't go to the other world, but we are hanging somewhere up. So the Shastras say when it rains, we come down on earth, and then we take support of the herbs and the plants and all and remain there hanging. Then the person eats. If he is our future father, he eats, and we enter his body and then reside in his body. We take birth, we are born in his body. Then we enter the mother's body. We are born in the mother's body. And then we are given birth. So this is like our third birth. First we are born in the father's body. Then we are born in the mother's body. Then we are born on Mother Earth. So So we are brought to this world by the Rig Veda mantra devatas. Then Yajubihi Antariksham, and when we meditate on A and O mantra, with that understanding of Vaishvanara and Hiranyagarbha, we go to the Antariksha, means the Somaloka, means the in-between other worlds, like Swargaloka and other worlds, and we are guided there by Yajurveda mantra devatas, Yajuvihi. And when we meditate on all the three mantras, then Samabihi Yattat Kavayo Vedayante. Then we are guided by Sama Veda mantra devatas to that world which is praised by great kavis, great, great rishis. Samabhi yattat kavayo vedayanti means we are taken to the Brahmaloka by Samaveda mantra devatas. But if we meditate on Om, contemplate on Om, with proper understanding of this Om, as indicated in the Mandukya Upanishad, then what happens? Tam Omkarena eva ayatanena anveti vidvam. Then with the help of that Om itself, taking the support of the Om itself, this wise seeker attains that world, means attains that supreme Brahma, here and now. No guidance from any devatas are required then. Here and now, one attains that Brahma. And what is that Brahma? Yat Tat Shantam, which is supremely peaceful. Shant. There are no disturbance of any kind in that Brahma. No thoughts, no activities, no change, no modification. Peaceful. Shantam. Ajaram. Free from old age. No old age. Free from old age. Ajaram. Amritam. Free from death. No death. Abhayam. Free from fear. Param. Supreme. Chaiti. And supreme. One attains that. So through the Omkar upasana, one attains both the Apara Brahma as well as Param Brahma. So thus concludes this very beautiful chapter on Omkara upasana. One has to practice this. Now you have studied it, you have gained some proper understanding about it. With this understanding, you have to practice this upasana. And the more and more we practice, more we become capable of understanding our own innermost self. So there are these steps. First step is to understand ourselves as Vaishvanara, then to understand ourselves as Hiranyagarbha, understand ourselves as Ishvara, and understand ourselves as Param Brahma. Okay? So thus concludes this fifth section Now we come to the last section, the sixth section, the sixth disciple, whose name is mentioned first actually in the first mantra of the first chapter, Sukesha cha Bharadvajaha. So that's Sukesha Bharadvajaha. He approaches the teacher and he asks the final question, the most beautiful question, the subtle question. Because all these previous questions slowly led us towards this ultimate Brahma only. In the last two chapters, little hint was given of that Brahma. But now, direct question is asked about the Brahma. So when that question was asked from where the pranas are born, it was said from that Atma. When it was said, where do all this reside in deep sleep, it was indicated that Atma. Here also in Omkar upasana, when we transcend that Brahmaloka, what do we attain? That Param Brahman. So what is that Brahman? What is that Supreme Purusha? That is the question which is asked now in the sixth section. Let us chant the mantra. And we will be able to see it in the next class, but now we will chant the mantra. Atha hainam Sukesha Bharadvajaha Papracha Bhagavan Hiranyanabaha Kausalyo Rajaputro Mam Upetya Etam Prashnam Aprachata Shodashakalam Bharadvaja Purusham Vetha Tamaham Kumaram Abhruvam Naham Imam Veda Yadi Aham Imam Avedisham Katham Te Navaksham Iti Samulo Va Esha Parishushati Yo Anratam Abhivadati Tasmat Narhabhya Anratam Narhab Narhab Narham Anratam Vaktum Sattushnim Ratam Aruyya Pravavraja Tam Tva Prichami Kwaso Purusha Iti. Long-winded question. Atha Hainam Sukesha Bharadvajaha Papracha. So Sukesha Bharadvajaha. Sukesha was his name, and son of Bharadvaj. He approached Pippala the Rishi and he asked this question, Bhagavan, he Bhagwan. And he says that Hiranyanabaha Kausalyo Rajaputro, that once upon a time, when I was in my ashram, the prince, whose name was Hiranyanaba, of Kaushalya, of Kosla Desh, the Rajkumar of this kingdom, he approached me, Mam Upetya Etam Prashnam Aprachata. He approached me and asked a question. Even the kings or prince or whoever, they go to the Rishi Munis, their ashram, and they ask questions, they remove all their doubts. So this Hiranyanaba also approached me, he said, Sukesha, He says that Hiranyanaba came to me and he approached me and he asked a question. And what question did he ask? Shodasha Kadam Bharadvaja Purusham Vedha. He asked, Hey Bharadvaja, O son of Bharadvaj, do you know that Purusha having 16 kalas, Shodasha Kala Purusha, do you know that Purusha who has 16 facets? So I told him, I don't know. Na aham imam Veda. Tamaham kumaram abhruvam na aham idam Veda. But then Kumara, he did not believe. How can I not know? I am a rishi. I do my sadhana here. I must be knowing. So he just looked at me. And then again I told him, Yadi aham imam avedisham, if I knew this, if I knew who that Purusha was, then katham te na avaksham iti, then why I will not tell you? And if I don't know and I tell you, then that is also not proper. Because if I don't know and I keep blabbering and just telling something, then samulo va esha parishushati, then I will get dried up totally, right to my roots. It will be a great lie. It is not proper to tell if I don't know myself. Anrutam abhivadati, if I tell a lie, then I will get totally dried up. All my goodness will just go away. I will incur sin. Tasman narha me anrutam bhaktam. Therefore, I will not tell you the lie. So when that prince heard this, he became very quiet and he left. Satushnim ratam aruya prabha vraja. He sat on his chariot and he went back. But that question kept on ringing in my mind. I kept on thinking about it. Though it was the prince question, but now it has become my question. I want to know, who is this Purusha? Tam tva prachami kvaso Purusha iti. Therefore I am asking you, hey my teacher, who is this Purusha? Kvaso Purusha iti. So this question and the answer to this question we will see in our class on Monday. Till then you take care, be happy, say peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and try to do this Omkar upasana. Listen to the pravachan again and practice Omkar upasana. Okay? Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Siya Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.